This football thing, I would say it started naturally. My dad, he said enough is enough. He took me, brought tires, put it on top of my head, and said he's going to put me on fire. Going to school was never for me. Sports director, he saw me and he liked me, and he started taking me outside school. They had an agreement and they decided to take some players to help them play the NPFL. So I was among some of the players they took from Delta Force. When I was in Delta Force, I think my salary is about 50,000. You know, the system of Nigeria, it comes once in a blue moon. I had a coach who told me that if you don't put on the name of your father at the back of any jersey in your life, you should hold yourself responsible. Oh, my chairman told me that Garnet Roy is coming. Garnet Roy called me. Iwuala, how are you? You are fine? I said yes. You are fit? I said yes. It was like a dream come true. I couldn't smile. I just had to keep my steez. Kelechi Iheanacho, to be precise, if I can remember, was already telling me he will get ready if he give you your debut to do.
Yes, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be watching or listening to us from. This is the home of Nigeria Football Podcast. As always, I'm your host, AyoT, and I have with me a special guest today, a player for the Super Eagles of Nigeria and Al Arabi, Kuwait. His name is Anayo Iwuala. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Ayo.
Yes, thank you for joining me. This is a conversation that, we've been talking behind the scenes trying to make happen. And today we're finally here, discussing virtually. Before I get into any question about football, anything like that, I always like to ask my guests, how are you? How are you? How is your health, family? How is everything?
By the special grace of God, I'm fine. I'm okay. We give God all the glory. I'm fine. Everything is fine. Life is fine. Family is fine. We bless God.
Good to hear. Good to hear. That's always the most important thing. When your health is good, when life is good, it's easy for you to focus on football. You can focus on your job and you know other things. So for today, we want to get into your story. We want to get into your career. We want to talk about different things that have happened. The fans want to know. But I'm going to start from the very beginning. So your name is Emmanuel Anayo Iwuala. Where were you born? Where did the manual come from? Let's start from the beginning.
Okay. Firstly, I was given birth to in Delta States. Actually, I grew up there
Mm,
because my family were there. But my origin is from Imo State, Owerri.
mm,
Um, naturally, and just that I was just given birth to in Delta State, grew up there, went to school there. After the secondary school, I furthered my education in Owerri,
okay.
um, Polytechnic of Nekede, and for some years then. So I actually had in between my I can say my two states.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's
So
that's that's the beginning.
born in Delta, growing up in which part of Delta? Sorry.
In Ugeli.
Okay. So growing up, how did you start? How did you start playing football? Was it somebody on your streets that just called you one day? How did you get into football?
This football thing, I would say it started naturally because back then we were living in an estate close to a community, and we
Mm,
had feed and everything. Um, Also, I think my school was then my primary school was still in that same estate. You
oh, okay.
know, so we had boys. We put ourselves together, start playing football. That's how I started,
Mm,
and gradually, but initially I started there.
And when you were that small boy that maybe after school you're going to go and play ball, you come back home, your clothes are dirty, everything. How did your parents react? Were they like, okay, do your thing, or were they like, go, are playing too much? How was it with your parents?
No, no, no. There was never do your thing for me. There was never do your thing for me. It was never like that. I had a lot of story to tell when it comes to playing of this football. It was never do your thing. My parents were being strict to me, very, very strict when it comes to football because my dad wants me to go to school. And my mom also, women, what the husband want, eventually sometimes it's what the woman will go for. My mom, she has this kind of, I would say, ways that she doesn't want her children to be seen around. So it's give her this harsh feelings whenever she finds out I'm outside playing football with those boys, according to her then. So it wasn't easy. I had a lot of beating.
Okay. Tell us one of those beating stories. Just give us one story of those times that you got in trouble for playing football.
So initially there was a time, my dad, my parents, they've been complaining, don't go out and play football. Take your books, take your study serious. Don't go out and play football. I refused. I always found myself going to play football, play football, play. So one time, my dad, I because I had a routine. Whenever I go play football, when it's play when it's dark, I come back home, get scared because I know I'll get beaten. So that day, I came back and my dad, he said enough is enough. He took me, brought tires, put it on top of my head, and said he's going to get me, he's going to put me on fire. Initially, then my siblings came. They started begging my sisters, "Daddy, please, daddy, please, daddy, please, daddy, please." That's how I managed to escape and I ran. A lot of. It was that bad. That bad, very, very
Oh
bad.
wow, that is crazy. But I mean, now I'm sure now they're like, good job. I'm proud of you.
Of course, of course. Some of my uncles then, that whenever I start beating me because I went to play football, they speak to him now. This is the same person you wanted to set on fire
Mm,
some years back now. And my father will say, "Oh, that time I was just telling him not to play football too much." But that's life. We
yeah.
give God the glory.
Wow, amazing, amazing. That's incredible. So okay, you said you went to all the way to Polytechnic. So
Yeah.
when you're playing football, a lot of players maybe after secondary school, then they just go and like really chase their career. They don't really go to university or polytechnic, things like that. So for you, why is it that even after secondary school, was it just because of your parents, or was it something that you wanted to do as well?
No, it was never for me. It was for my parents. It was for my parents initially. Going to school was never for me. Initially, I was not even having this desire to write jam or whatever, you
Mm,
know. So my father keep pressing my sisters. They should ask me, am I not doing those things? You know. So I was like, okay. I was reluctant, so reluctant. So I did. I wrote WAEC, NECO, jam also. And then when it was time to fill which school I want to go, I just told my sister, put whatever you want to put there. Put what you put for yourself, put it for me. I don't have any choice. So she did that by herself, and that's how I think she feed some other university and then polytechnic also. So after my WAEC, I think there was a competition back then in in Ugeli. They call it the former deputy governor of Delta State then. I think he's late now. Utwama. Amos Utwama. He had a famous competition then. I think it's the biggest competition back then in Delta State. So
mm,
that year in particular, I played and I won the best player and the highest goal scorer. Initially, the former chairman of Delta Force back then, Mr. Etu, Moses Etu, he came for the final, the grand finale of the that competition. So I was there when I think he was the one who gave me my award for the best player and highest goal scorer. So initially he said he didn't watch me play because my team did get to the final. So he said he wants to see me and take me to Delta Force, just like that. That's how initially I was about to sign Delta Force then, and again waiting for admission. Don't forget. So my admission came at the same time where Moses Etu wanted to take me to Delta Force. So it was like a dream come true for me. And then I'm stuck in between going to school. So initially I went to Asaba. He took me to Asaba to see if I'm good enough. And then they said, okay, I'm okay. The coach said I'm okay. So I told him, but back then I was receiving calls at home from my dad if I'm not ready to go back to school because I think I had admission then. So I told him I want to go home and take all my bags because I came with little, but initially it was a lie. So I went back to Ugeli initially, and he told me that in a week time he'll be coming back to Asaba and he'll want to pick me so I can come with him. I said okay, no problem. Fast forward to a week time, he started calling me. I couldn't pick the call anymore because I started having a lot of pressure from my dad and everybody. I need to answer my admission and all that. That's eventually how I left that proposal from Delta Force and I went to school. So it was never for me. It was
So
for my.
the first opportunity that you had to join a club, you actually turned it down to go to
I
school.
had to turn it down. Yeah, I did.
Wow. Wow. Incredible. Wow. Okay. Your story is, well, we're just starting and it's already so interesting.
Yeah,
Let me
it
let me
is. It
let me
is,
ask
bro.
you,
It is.
so when you were growing up, like it sounds like you had it in your mind that football was the thing that you wanted to do. Was
Hundred
it
percent.
was it because, like, why is it because you watched other footballers and you just said I want to do this? Was there somebody you knew personally that was a footballer that you wanted to follow in that person's footsteps? Why were you so sure? Because even me now, if you ask me, I mean, if I wanted to be a footballer, but I did not do the things that you did. I did not chase it the way you chased it. So why is it that you were so sure?
I don't know. I just have this something in me. I love playing football. I can play football from morning to night, even without thinking about eating. It's just natural for me. I just love playing football. I want anywhere I see football. In fact, at a time in my house, if there's sound of football, my mother will start looking for me if I'm still at home. It was so bad, like it was like that. I just love football. Nothing. I didn't have anybody playing football. I want to really maybe follow, but I just love playing football. I think that's it.
And which club did you support growing up?
I've been supporting Arsenal since when I was young.
Arsenal. I hate Arsenal. So okay, and who are some of the players, your role models that you looked up to?
Yeah, then when I was growing up, I used to hear about Kanu Wanko, and initially it was then when he was playing for Arsenal and
Yeah.
Terry Henry also. There was when I was young. I think some of that time he came to Nigeria and he was given a crown. It was called the Igwe or something like that. So I said, I know. So initially, then I started following Arsenal, and that's how I did
I
it.
mean, to be honest, both Nwankwo Kanu and Thierry Henry, they are the two biggest reasons why we have so many Arsenal fans in Nigeria.
Yeah,
Those
for
two
me it
players
is.
are,
For me,
so
for
many
me.
people like Arsenal because of them. Okay, so now you've turned down your first opportunity to play football from Delta Force and decided to go to Polytechnic. Take us back to that story. So from Polytechnic now, how did you get back into that line of playing football?
See, when I went to school, I didn't stop playing football. So I joined my department team. Started playing the SUG Cup. Then my second year, I played the Rectors Cup, and I think I took the first Rectors Cup from that department for the first time in the history of that school, Mascom, and we won the Rectors Cup. And then I had my sports director, DOS, Director of Sports, from my department. He saw me and he liked me and he started taking me outside school for one academy in town in Owerri. I called them Campus FC, where Francis Uzo also, I think he was there also.
Yeah.
So that was where I was training while going to school. So I think after a year, I think there was I think it was then election or something. I've forgotten what happened. So schools went on break. So I went back home. Then my academy, there was one academy I was training with in Delta State in Ogeli. Excellent Football Academy. They were playing the state FA Cup. And again, they had the fixtures with same Delta Force in the FA Cup. So initially I came back then and the coach included me to play against Delta Force. So that's when I played against Delta Force again. The chairman saw me and came to me and said, "Today, you are not going." So he held my hand and said, "I'm taking you to Asaba right now." So my coach told him, chairman, don't worry. This time around, he will come. I will speak to his father. Don't worry, let him go. The chairman said, "Impossible. I will not let him go. He must follow us to Asaba." That's how we spoke. Eventually, he let me. I went home. We discussed with my dad and the coach of my academy. That's how I went to Asaba. And I started playing NNL for the first time, direct from school. From there, I think the commissioner saw me, Tony Bok Okoa, younger brother of Ifeanyi Okoa. He saw me then and he liked me also. So as God as God was doing his own thing, I played my first game, I scored. We went away, we played stationary stores. I think it's Agege Stadium or something. I scored my first goal. I think we drew that game, but we had a point and it was good for us. So that's how immediately I got to the limelight of Delta Force. Everybody starts looking at for me and all that. Then I think the break was called off, but eventually we finished the NLS season, first round. So, and I went back to school, started my second year. Then they resumed again, but without me, but I had to finish. So luckily, something that does not really happen when you're in school, you are forgotten. They had to register other players. So they changed the chairman of Delta Force, Mr. Moses Etu, and they brought a new chairman. Lucky enough, the chairman called me and asked me, "When are you coming back?" I was like, "Chairman, I'm staying in school, but I'll be coming back towards September or thereabout." He said, "All right, we're waiting for you." I was like, wow, I was surprised. And then they changed the coach again, and the coach called me also and said, "When are you coming back?" I said, I have an exam. Maybe after my exam, I will be coming back." He said, "Okay, we are waiting for you." Wow, I was like, what's going on? Like, my mind was off there already because I think I went back to school. It's not possible. I cannot be in school and people will be in camp and. But as God may do it, I finished my exam towards September, and I went back. Again, when I went back, the league has started. The league has started. So I think that was 2018. 2018, the league has started. So they had a game. I came like 2 days before they will be traveling to Lagos. We're playing Crown FC in Lagos. Chema called me and said, "You are going with us on that trip." I said, "Really?" He said, "Yes." So my teammates, everybody, they saw me. Everybody, I was very just around the the camp. Everybody was saying, "Who is this guy? Who is this guy?" He just came. Coach has fixed him in possible side. Just things like that. So we went to Lagos. I had a good game again. We took a point, 1-1 at 0-0, I think. And after everybody was calm, then my chairman came that day and was like talking to the coach. "Share, I told you." That was what I was hearing. "Share, I told you." The coach was shaking his head like this, and so that's how it happened. That's how I came back to Delta Force.
Wow, wow, wow. I mean, it's such an incredible story. So you now, this boy, you're in school, and people when they struggle for camp, everything. From that camp, the coach is calling. Say, "How about this boy? When are you coming back?" The chairman of the club is calling. "When are you coming back?" I mean, that just shows how important that they felt that you were,
Yeah,
and how highly they rated you. And I mean, for you, I can only imagine, that must have been so encouraging and so, motivating that
Honest.
even though I'm here, these people are actually calling me, checking on me, incredible. So from there, you joined Delta Force. You played the NNL season with them.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
how did that first season go?
It was fine. I think we now went to Aba. It was that year we went to Aba to play the Super Six. I don't know if you could remember that
Yeah.
2018. We played the Super Six in Aba. They just finished the Enyimba Stadium then,
Mm.
and they decided to use the Enyimba Stadium to host that Super Six. I think we were there. Sunshine were there. Insurance was there. I think that was the year Insurance got promotion also, and Kada FC of Kaduna then. That was the year they get promotion.
Mm.
So it was the slot of Kada that Delta Force later got at the middle of the NPFL. So they had we didn't qualify. We didn't qualify for the Super Six Delta Force. So we went back to NNN. And then Delta Force had, I don't know the agreement they had then with Kada City. You know, they had an agreement and they decided to take some players to help them play the NPFL. So I was among some of the players they took from Delta Force to Kada
So
City
Kada.
then in Kaduna. So they registered, out of the 15 players, they registered 7 of us and 7 people went back to Delta State. So I was among the 7 that were registered. Out of the 7 of us that was registered, 3 of us were playing regularly. And I was among the 3 of them that were playing regularly. So that's how I eventually started playing the Premier next year.
See, that's why I love talking to players and hearing your story, because if you go online now and we check for your, career, it tells us online that you started from Kada before you joined Delta Force. But now, as you've explained it, it was actually from Delta Force. Then they said, "Oh yeah, go and help Kada," before you now obviously must have gone back to Delta Force. So
Yeah.
I love hearing these stories from players because everything is always different. But I want to ask you this question now. You're playing in the NNL and then now you started playing in the NPFL as well. All this time, how much money are you making?
To be honest, I was not even after the money.
Hmm.
I was not even thinking how much I'm going to be paid. Initially, I can tell you when I was in Delta Force NNL, I think my salary is about 50,000
A month.
then a month, which the system of Nigeria, it comes once in a blue moon. You know, so and I never really agitated that you don't pay me money. Not like I had a family who supports me, send me no. Well, when I left home to say I want to play football, my father and my mom, they never sent me money, and I didn't even call them to send me money because I was just trying to run around. And I'm not the type who goes to meet chairman or coach. I don't have money, give me money, and they
No.
can testify to that. I don't do that. I was just looking for ways to sustain myself. That was it. So
I mean, to be fair, 50,000 like that time was more than 50,000 of today, because now
of
50,000 of
course,
today,
of course,
50,000 of
of
today
course.
don't fit do anything.
The only
But
problem was that it wasn't coming.
it's just that it wasn't coming consistently.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
that
were
was.
you doing and were you doing like any side hustle? You were doing work here and there or anything? Like how were you like eating, surviving?
Nothing. They used to feed us then in the
Okay.
camp, so eating was not really a problem. And
Mm,
then anytime they give me the little one they want to give, maybe match bonus or they, I just keep it and try to maintain myself.
mm.
And like, that was it.
But that time, feel they chase babe now because you
No,
never.
no. Then I was not. No, that was it. That was something that helped me
Mm,
because then I'm not this outing type. I don't go out. I'm not after this lifestyle of
mm.
I'm always indoor, always, always, always. So I didn't have time to do those things then.
Now, let me ask you, playing in the NPFL now for Kada, you know, going through the season, again, you are one of the players that they borrowed, quote unquote, from, Delta Force, and you're actually playing. Did you feel like at that time, all the things that you were working towards, all the beating where you don't chop, everything, did you feel like, see now, this is why I was doing it, this is why I chopped that bit in? Did you feel like everything was worth it?
Yes, but at the time, I was not, I didn't have this satisfaction in me yet.
Mm,
I was not really satisfied. So I was not thinking high of those beating. Because I know in Nigeria League, because when I was playing football growing up, people already started encouraging me, already telling me, this your ball, no be ordinary ball, no loss. When I was still in primary school, I had a coach who told me that if you don't put on the name of your father at the back of any jersey in your life, you should hold yourself responsible. Then I was young. I didn't understand what that meant, but that word was in my head. So when I was growing, I started understanding, started seeing football. Then I started understanding what it means to have your name written at the back of a jersey.
so since you were young, they saw it, like they knew
Yeah,
that you had the talent, that you were
yeah,
going all the way.
yeah.
Wow.
A lot of people, they even call my dad, allow your son go play ball now.
Mm,
Your pikin happy play ball. You don't like they keep inviting my dad, come and watch him. Like, come and watch him so you see him play yourself, so you understand what we are saying, you know. So, but my dad he was stubborn. I think he finally came once,
mm.
and he watched. But he had just been hearing for years that your pikin sabi play ball, your pikin sabi play ball. But I think he came once to watch me play. That was it.
And it's so interesting because with parents, I've kind of looked at it that it's this thing with life. Sometimes, like now, even as we're talking to each other, if you are too close to the screen, you're not going to be able to see me clearly. You have
Yeah,
to sit back
lean it.
a little
Yeah,
bit, and you get the view. So I feel like that's what usually happens with parents sometimes because they are too close. They are seeing you every day. They see all the bad things you do. They're just like,
yeah,
oh, who is this boy? But other people from outside that are stepping back, they're like, whoa, like special talent. Encourage, make sure you pursue this thing. Wow, it's incredible. Me now, if to say maybe they encourage me like that now, maybe I.
they encourage some people, but they don't still make up.
I
That's
mean, I don't
football.
think but I mean, fantastic, fantastic, fantastic one. Okay, let me ask you now from Delta Force. Let us know because where most people, including myself, where I knew you was Enyimba. So can you tell us how did you get to Enyimba?
Okay. After the first season of the Kada mid-season, Kada mid-season, we went back to Asaba, Delta Force.
Mm,
I finished my season, and then I went home. Then the present coach of Plateau United now, Coach Mangood, was my assistant coach.
mm,
Okay, he became the head coach, and then we went back home. And then he spoke to me. He just spoke to me and was telling me some things about offers and other things. And initially, when I was in Kaduna, I already had started having phone calls even before we went back to Asaba, that from Kano Pillars Plateau. And so the chairman, late Ekene Adams, I think he's late now, he called me to his house one night and said, if I don't take this opportunity I'm having now, I will regret it.
mm.
I think he called the chairman or somebody from Kano Pillars that night in front of me. And they were talking, they were discussing. They even told him how much they are willing to pay me if I accept to come to Kano Pillars. You know. So I don't hear Kano Pillars. Hey, you know,
Big big club.
ah, I said okay. I was happy. Like Plateau called me again. I was happy also, but they already told me that it's Kano Pillars. I should not make the mistake. So I went home during the break. So my chairman of Delta Force, he called my coach. I think he called me and I told him, he said he wants to take me to one club. I said, Chairman, Kano Pillars. He said, you get that they talk very funny. Keep quiet. I'm your father. I'll tell you what to do. I said, okay. I didn't say anything. So he sent my coach to come and meet my parents.
Mm,
So we had a meeting. So He said they want to take me to Enyimba. Enyimba, how? I didn't play against Enyimba. I've not heard anything about Enyimba. Besides, I don't like Enyimba. I used to hear that Enyimba, they used to do a lot of things there. I don't want to play Enyimba. Allow me go Canopilas. My coach was just telling me, calm down, calm down, calm down. Don't worry. Your chairman has the best interest in heart for you. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. I said, coach, no, no, no. I want to go to Canopilas. It's Canopilas. Now, Canopilas I want to. Canopilas now I want. They said, don't worry, don't worry. Calm down, calm down. They were just trying to calm me down, calm me down. I said, okay, for now, let us leave it. So we left it. And after, I think, July or thereabouts, my chairman just called me. Where you did? I said, I'm in Ugeli. So, okay, tomorrow, you and Ozo, there was one guy called Ozo. They signed both of us together from Delta Force. Tomorrow, make you Ozo, I go send my money, make una go Aba, go do medical. Chairman, just like that. I told you I want to go to Camp Pillars. No, I say, shut up your mouth. Go to Aba first. I said, okay. So the next day I went to Aba. Like that. They just did the medical. I said, okay. Gave us contracts. Said everything. I'll tell you what to do. Told me everything to do. That's how I signed for Enyimba.
So you did not even know your choice. They just like go do medical. You just go to the medical.
It
So
was never my
for,
choice.
for the when the transfer happened, you know how much be the transfer. You know any of
Nothing.
the
I did
details.
not know anything. Nothing. Nothing. I know
Nothing.
nothing.
Hmm.
Salary, nothing. I know nothing.
Even your own salary, you don't know.
I did not know.
So so the contract when I give you, waiting there the contract.
He just told me what to do and told me just to sign. He said he already checked everything. But I read it, I read it. But it was when I read the contract I saw it. But initially I didn't know. But when I saw the contract, that's why I knew what I was going to sign.
Hmm.
But before I went there, I did not know
Did not know
anything.
anything.
No,
Wow. No agent involved, nothing. Wow,
nothing.
wow, wow.
I think it was
Okay.
club to club. That was it.
Club to club, no be but club to player. Waiting consign them, consign player. Wow, incredible the way transfers get done sometimes in Nigeria. But I
Yeah.
mean, so now you've joined Enyimba, you get there when you arrived, even though it wasn't your preferred destination. How was the reception? How did you feel? How were the your teammates when you arrived there?
Initially, when I got to Enyimba, I had challenges. I didn't have that sweet welcoming, you know, because I got there before the end of the season, or okay, towards the end of the season, or at the end of the season in particular in Delta Force. I had a little problem, injury, on my thunder, in between. So I thought it was ordinary, like it's maybe if I just rest a little to be okay. But when I went to Enyimba, I want the beginning of the training to start training. I couldn't train. That's how my problem started.
Hmm.
To cut the long story short, I think I stayed almost 5 months because I went July or June or thereabout. I didn't train, I didn't do anything till December, I think, or November.
Wow.
That's when I started training. So initially, some people would come at me and say, what's wrong with you? Since you come to this club, you never train, you just dey chop our money. What did they happen? I just laugh. I say, but at back, I don't dey call my chairman. I say, I tell you, say, I don't want to come in back. I tell you, say, I don't want to come in back. Nah, I don't dey feel the train. They say,
See
calm
as
down,
things
no
don't
train. They
be.
will treat you. Calm down, they will treat you. They will do this, Then my mom was praying for me. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Yeah, prayers, everything. Then they took me to the hospital. I think I stayed at the hospital for about 1 month. They treated me, but then Enyimba was still paying me. They were paying me. I've not even done anything. I've not even known my jersey number, but they were paying me, doing everything, taking care of me, everything. That year, I was supposed to go for. There was this national competition I was supposed to go for. I didn't go again. They had to exclude my name from inside. But then the shark treated me very, very well, and that was okay. Then I came back. I came back November or thereabout. Back then my teammates they were telling me, try you, be careful. Even I remember then Stanley Wabali came to me and told me, don't go pursue you, try me, come back. I said, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. You know, I came back November and December thereabout. That was when I started playing. By then nobody really knew me. And I think it was then when I came back, it wasn't long. I started playing 1 month, 2 months, people started talking about me. Then immediately the COVID started. Then they closed the league then that year. We went back home.
Okay, so first thing I would say is, we acknowledge when something bad happens. So let me also acknowledge when something good happens. With Enyimba, it's incredible that, because not be every Nigerian club they always do like that. Say player
Never.
join you, the player never even play anything, just get injury. Some club will just go back to where you're coming from.
Back.
They,
Yeah,
they don't care. The fact that they were still paying you, they were treating you, they were taking care of you. No matter how good they thought you were, or whether they thought you were messy or anything like that, I still give them kudos for doing that,
of
because
course.
not everybody does that. Some people will say, let him go and recover. When he recovers, we'll look at him again and we'll tell him to come back. But that was a good gesture by Enyimba, and I give them credit for that.
Indeed, they tried because Enyimba has this philosophy. I don't know if it's philosophy I'll call it, or tradition, or
Mm,
ways of doing their things that everybody knows Enyimba does their things this way without compromising.
mm,
You have to play against Enyimba. The fans have to see you. They have to know you. And they need to talk about you before you can even start coming to that club. Like
mm,
your name need to be ringing that bell in the league already.
mm,
And that year I went to Enyimba, it was a bridge league. We were separate from Enyimba entirely. We didn't even play against Enyimba. So we was separate. Enyimba
yeah.
was I think in group A, we're in group B. So it was separate. So I didn't even thought about it. And I didn't even know I was well known then in the league.
Mm,
But maybe at the northern part, okay, little.
yeah.
But the eastern part, no. You understand? So that's how it happened. But I was grateful, they did that. And to be honest, it's not off. They don't do that often.
Well, amazing. So now you are a player for Enyimba. You are back to full fitness. You know, you are playing your football on a regular basis. So how did you now? When did you feel like you started to become a real star in the league? When did you feel like, okay, if they ask anybody where they watch NPFL, say they know who Anayo be? When did you really feel like you were becoming a star?
Initially, I didn't just, Imba had players there. One thing is to come back. Another thing is for you to see Jesse in
Mm,
Enyimba. Because we have the likes of Stanley Dimba, Ruben Bala, Zenke, a lot of them, a lot of them, in my position. I still have to give kudos to the coach then, uh, um, Coach Abdullah,
mm,
present coach of Kano Pillars now, because he encouraged me then a lot. When I came back, I think when I came back, we had a CAF game. My first game was CAF game. Somebody that has been out for almost 6 months
mm,
brought me in that CAF game. I brought the assist of our goal that we won 1-0.
mm,
So, and not all coach will give you that opportunity. So I need to say something about him because he gave me the opportunity.
yeah.
But after that, when the COVID started, I started playing sometimes in, sometimes out, sometimes in, sometimes out, because he left the club and Coach Fatah Osho came in. So at the time, I don't even train when Coach Fatah Osho started. I don't train. In training, I don't participate. So it was later I started coming in, coming in, coming in. Maybe I understand the fact that when a new coach comes in, he needs to make use of the ones he knew already
Mm,
before start bringing in the ones that. So that's how I started. I was not really playing. constantly at first. It was after the COVID when we resumed. I think Stanley Dimba left, some other players left. So I tried to step in and step up my game, and from that year 2020, I think 2020, after the NSAS protest also, I think during September, October, November, when the league started again. That's how, from there, fast forward to September, October, November, December, January, February. 5 months later, I got my first call up for the national team.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you next. So let's tell us about that. You're playing your football for Enyimba, doing your thing in the NPFL. It is not often that NPFL players get called up. Even till today, not many NPFL players get called up, because we have so many players around the world. So how did you know? How did you find out? Who told you that you are going to be part of the Super Eagles squad?
Nobody. I didn't even know. I didn't know. We went for a CAF game in South Africa to play Orlando Pirates. During March, 2021. Initially, it was John Noble. Everybody knew was going to the national team because his name came out at the normal official list, the normal provisional list. I think 23 or 25 or thereabout. His name came out. My name was not there initially. So I never knew. Nobody knew I was going to the national team. So we went to South Africa. I think on our way coming back, the list came out. Started giving Noble congratulations. Then when we arrived in Nigeria, on our way to Aba, they called that myself and Noble are the ones going. That I had to replace Umar Sadiq. So I knew right inside the bus on our way to Aba. Initially, I didn't know.
Wow. And when they told you, how was the feeling? What did you do? How was that?
It was like a dream come true. I couldn't smile. I couldn't laugh. I couldn't react. I just had to keep my steez, I had to hold my steez, but deep down I was like, what is this? How manage? From where? I haven't even seen anything. I was just thinking how? When? Because why I wasn't I had the only way I had a clue was that my chairman, the one in Delta Force then, we had a rival game in that year's CAF Champions League against Rivers United. So Ganatura came to watch the game in Port Harcourt. So initially he called me and told me he's coming with Victor Ikpeba and Ganatura to watch that game. They want to come and watch me. That's what he said. But I don't know if it's true. I just okay, chairman, I don't hear. That was it. I just heard about it then. That was how I heard. But I didn't take it serious. Like because I know it's impossible for where is it coming from? So that was the only little clue. When it happened, I can say, oh, my chairman told me that Ghana Troy is coming, then maybe that was it. And that game I didn't have the best of games, because the game, somehow. So but we won initially, but I didn't have the best. So I was not thinking about it. So after then, we started hearing that it was Noble. So I just, okay, no more. But eventually my name came out again, and that was it.
So now, let's talk about going to the national team. Your first time in camp. You get there. Obviously, even though you say you be player, but it's different now. Some players are superstars. You
Of
get
course.
there, Ndidi, Eanacho, Osime, Balogun, Ekong, all these guys that you don't they watch them for TV, you like them. How did it feel to now be in that group among all those players?
It's like a lifetime dream, when your lifetime dream, like the Super Eagles was something I was dreaming last. After going to Europe, then I can start dreaming of the Super Eagles. So it was not something I was dreaming when I was still in Nigeria. Never. I never had that dream. I never knew it come that way, you know. So I was like, I didn't even know where, how to react, how to behave in camp, those things, you know. Even when we went there, I think me and Noble, it's clear that we were different from the rest, you know. You can't take it away. You
Mm.
can't take it away. We were different from the rest, you
In
know.
what sense?
Every sense, every area, every angle, we were different from the rest. Honestly,
In
we
terms
were
of the
different from the rest.
football?
Everything, bro. Everything. We were different, and we know we were different, you know. But we're just one national team. Okay, fine. But if you take that outside it, we were different. We came from Nigeria, NPFL to be precise, you know, Enyimba to be precise again. And you know, the treatment won't be the same. And we're not expecting it to be the same. But kudos to Ganetro. He tried giving us open hands then, spoke to us, tell us to be open, to be free, you know, integrated with the rest of the squad. That was it.
Okay. Let me now ask you, because you said that everything was different, you know. So I'm assuming by the time you get on the training ground now with these guys that play in Europe, play for big clubs, and then you start to see as then they train, as then they play. All your life now, they know they tell you say you be good player, you be, you be star, everything. You can't see some kind of players where we say, another level past the one where you they do. How did that make you feel?
Naturally, you will know when they start their training, it's different from how we start our training here there in Nigeria. You know, the things they do, the type of exercise they do, you know, it's different from what you normally do in your club there in
For Nigeria,
Nigeria.
you go first run 10 laps or waiting.
I heard things like that. Start playing JoJo, but they don't play JoJo. What they do more is they play this ball game, 2 touch, 3 touch, start
Mm,
touching the, you know, those things. And we don't do that in our club. So it's something new. So I had to stay. If you watch, I had to stay. Sometimes I stay myself to watch what they are doing, so I can learn. You
mm,
understand? So then when I went, pictures started coming out that we are isolating ourselves from the rest, and but
mm.
sometimes maybe it's like that sometimes, but you need to look at what people are doing so you can learn. So you don't go there and just mess up things, you know. So
Right.
initially it was like, you know, yeah, you might be a superstar in Enyimba, but that is Enyimba. These are players who are coming from outside, bro.
Yeah.
You
Mm,
can't, if it be the same. It can never be the same. You know,
mm.
you have to
Wow.
give them that respect, and you know, it is.
Interesting. Interesting. And I mean, you eventually made your debut March 27, 2021 against Benin Republic. In that game, I believe Onuachu came off the bench and scored the winning goal for us in that match in the dying minutes of the game. You came off on towards the end of the match when the coach told you, "Oh yeah, go and warm up, or get dressed. Yeah, yeah, you're coming on." How was your, did you have goosebumps? Was your blood rushing? How did you feel?
To be honest, my mind was normal. If
Mm,
they play me, if they don't play me, I know I don't deserve to get played 100%. You know,
mm.
I know because we had a lot of people on the bench who
Ahmed
they
Musa
are
even did
regular.
bench that time.
They are regular. We have Kelechi Iheanacho on the bench.
Mm,
A lot of people on the bench, you know. So it's normal. If I don't get played, I won't feel anything. Just being in the Super Eagles squad alone, it's a dream come true. So not to talk about me thinking I will get angry that I didn't play or something. But initially in the bench, Kelechi Iheanacho, to be precise, if I can remember, was already telling me he will get ready. If he give you your debut to do, get ready. If he give you I said, okay, senior man, no wahala, senior man, no wahala. So we were warming up, warming up, warming up. At the time, I was praying that even if I get to play, maybe we'll be winning 3-0, 2-0, 4-0. Then they can just take the rakes and just, okay, put him in. But at the time, they called me and it's still 0-0. I was like, wow, what is this? Wow. You know, I'm grateful again to Ghana Troy. I think he had this little belief in me, you know, even when it was 0-0, he still had to throw me in, and so grateful to him. So grateful to him.
Wow, amazing. And that game was away, so we're playing away from home. Did you do you feel like maybe it was a little bit better that you made your debut away, or would you have preferred to make your debut in Nigeria? What do you think?
I was happy more we had that game. I had my debut then,
Mm,
Benny. I was happy because it was not even crowded. It was
mm,
normal, and it's looking like a game, like without high pressure too
yeah.
much. You understand? So I was happy it was away. So when I had that first debut, coming home again wouldn't be like the first time for me anymore. You understand? So I was happy it was away.
And then in the second game of that window, it was our home against Lesotho. You came off the bench again for the last few minutes of that game. You know, that one, we won that one 3-0, comfortable, And then, okay, transfer, a bit, sorry, international window is over. You go back to your club. When you get back to your club now, because me as a fan, or if I call myself media, we've gradually started talking about this guy only played few minutes, but when he came off the bench in this match, he showed us quality. He showed us something. People were talking about you. Some people were even saying that they should start him in the second game against Lesotho. So when you went back to your club now, how did you feel? Hearing all this noise of people like me, or people they talk about me for Super Eagles. How did that make you feel?
Funny enough, then I was not really into the media. I was not into
Mm,
social media. Instagram, I don't do all those Snap, Twitter, I don't do those things.
mm,
Facebook, I don't really open it. If I open my Facebook there, I just what I go through is football, football, football. So I don't really know. I was not listening. I was not focused on or had anything to read about the media. People just came telling me that good game, congratulations. Those are the things I normally hear.
mm,
But people talking about me, I didn't really get to see anyone on the social media. But I knew people were saying things, but I didn't see anyone on the social media because I was not really into the space of social media there, you know. So, but when I went back to my club, my teammates, congrats, they started insulting me, just
mm.
what's
Level don't
that?
change now.
Uh, there was even a philosophy there in Enyimba. They call it pride. Anybody who is that's our set. They have a philosophy. If you just do anything, they will just look at you and say, "You don't get pride." That thing came from me. When we went to the Super Eagles and
Mm,
we came back, they started saying, you don't get pride. Any small thing, you don't get pride. So that word it became a funny word. Everybody started using it.
mm,
So it was like that.
mm, Amazing, incredible. Okay, let's fast forward a little bit again. Let's fast forward a little bit again. Um, Now comes June. June international break again. This time we're going to play against Cameroon. You are in the squad, to represent Nigeria again. How the first one you say, where did they call me from? Now they are calling you again. Was this one a surprise, or were you expecting it?
I was not also expecting it. I think I was with my friend that afternoon. But before then, okay, I think I expected that one because before then they called me.
Mm,
I think secretary reached out to me because we were traveling, so they were making arrangements. Garnet Roy called me. Iwala, how are you? No, he normally say Iwala, how are you? You are fine. I said yes. You are fit. I said yes, I am fit. He said okay, no problem. That was it. So I was expecting something, you know. So when the list came that afternoon, people just started sending it to me. Congratulations. And I went to my phone. I saw the list again. Where are we going to? I didn't even know we were even traveling. I just saw we were to resume, and that was it.
wow, nice, 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 amazing. Wow, such fantastic stories. Okay, you know what we're going to do now? I'm going to take a little bit of a break and let's play one game. Hmm? Let's play
Okay.
one game, and then we'll come back to talk about your career.
Okay.
See, we've not even left Nigeria. We've spoken so much. We've not yet spoken about leaving Nigeria yet. But let's play a game very quickly. So this game is just going to be quick fire. Okay. So
Okay.
I just throw a question at you. Just give me the first answer that comes to your mind. Nothing too serious. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Who is your favorite Nigerian player of all time?
Jojo Kocha.
Hmm. Who is your favorite Nigerian player today?
Samuel Chukwueze.
Okay. Who is your favorite coach of all time?
Ghana Troy.
I get it. Okay. What is your favorite food to eat before a match or the day of a match?
Rice.
Hmm.
Rice and plantain.
Okay. Who is your favorite superhero?
I'll say my dad.
Okay. Do you have any superstition, any ritual, any routine that you follow on the day of a match?
No, nothing.
How do
None.
you keep yourself focused before a game?
Play music.
Nike or Adidas?
Nike.
Jollof rice or fried rice?
Jollof rice.
Rice or swallow?
Rice.
Lagos or Abuja?
Abuja.
Casual clothes or traditional clothes?
Casual clothes.
Okay. Track suits or corporate suits?
Tracksuit.
Shoes or wristwatch?
Shoes.
Shoes. Champions League or AFCON?
AFCON.
AFCON. Okay. Fantastic. 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 Okay. Now let's get back to your football story, your football career. Okay. So at this point now, you've made 4 appearances for the Super Eagles, all off the bench, but still, you are playing for the national team, which is obviously something that you've dreamt of. Yeah, people know you now. People know your name. People are looking forward to seeing you play. Things are going well. Let me now ask you. You played in the qualifiers for us those 4 games, and then obviously the AFCON is coming up in 2021. Everybody's excited. Everything. You did not make the squad for the AFCON. Did you feel like after I was there, it would have, you thought you were supposed to be in the squad. How did you feel when you missed out on the final squad for the tournament?
To be honest, I felt bad. I felt this like something has dropped out of me. Because as a young guy aspiring to push my career forward, I felt okay. But initially again, I had things like that in mind because speculations were on then that the coach then Garnacho, he wants players who are outside to play in Europe. You understand? So then, and initially I had a one-on-one talk with him when we went to Mexico. He was there and he told me, Iwuala, if you leave Nigeria, I prefer and tell you to go to Europe. He told me, up on the plane, he told me. That was just his word. And I know where that word was coming from, you know. And even because I was I think I captained that game in Mexico.
Yeah.
A question came to me that what do I have to say about the philosophy of the gaffer Garnacho of not bringing players who don't play in Europe. I had to find a way to get out of that question because it's like a set of questions. I shouldn't be the one answering that. So I knew there was something going on, and I had, but it was not my fault initially coming to, not going to Europe. So it's not the question. So let me not go there. But I felt really, really bad. I had hope that, okay, if I go to the AFCON, it's an opportunity for me to, showcase myself more. And, it's like a dream come true going to the AFCON. But since it didn't come, I just said, okay, fine. life goes on. I have more opportunity, So that was it.
Okay, and I mean, fast forward to that same summer, in August, was when you eventually now made your move away from Enyimba, August of 2021. So this your move, in all honesty, surprised people. Just like you said, everybody thought Anayo is going to go to Europe. I think, if I'm not mistaken, even Gennett Raw, somebody had asked him, and he said, "Oh, that you have offers from Germany." I think Gennett Raw had even said it, that, "Oh, that he has offers from Germany." So everybody was thinking that, Anayo is going to go to Europe, and we'll start watching him play. And then you made a move to Esperance Tunis in Tunisia. So how did that happen? What happened to Europe? Was that a lie? Can you just tell us?
No, it was no none was a lie. I had offers from Spain, from Germany, from Netherlands, and those are the ones I from Denmark, Belgium, a lot of places I had offers. But go back, the club I'm playing for. Everybody knows the club I'm playing for in Nigeria, and everybody knows the story of Enyimba. I'll be careful enough not to mention names.
Mm,
But everybody know the story of Enyimba. Everybody know the philosophy of Enyimba when it comes to transfer,
mm,
and everybody understand that Europe, as at that time, suffered COVID, and they were recovering. And no normal club, average club wants to sign an African player for a huge amount a club will be calling in
at that time.
Africa at that time. Because if you then transfer it, club will tell you, the COVID affected us, we cannot pay this, we cannot pay that. Then, so my club were not ready to accept those offers,
Mm,
and the pressure was on. Don't stay Nigeria another year. Don't stay Nigeria another year. You might not have this good season. Might not, talks there. I started doing some certain things, asking some questions. Answers came back to me, telling me, calling names of people who have played in Enyimba. I should go and ask. They've done this to them. They've done that to them. If I'm not careful, the same thing will happen to me, and nothing will happen. You know, but I had offers, to be honest. Germany,
mm.
I did. I had offers, yes.
So what you are saying essentially is that the only reason why you did not move to Europe that summer is because Enyimba did not accept any of the offers that came for you.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
And I mean, I don't know if you want to say it, but I would say it. Me, I don't have any tie to Enyimba. Not They cannot beat me. It is very, very sad that they would hold you back like that. In that moment, I understand it's a business. I understand fully, fully, fully. It's a business. The club wants to make money. They feel like they've invested in you. I mean, they paid you when you were not playing for them. All those kinds of things. But I'm thinking, like, why can't they look out for your best interest? Even if it's maybe okay, if they are selling you and the money is small, maybe you put sell on clause that, okay, in the future when you guys sell him, we'll collect 20% of that money. Things like that, to help them to still eventually make their money, but allow you to be able to have your dream.
I
Go
have
to Europe.
I had my agent talking to him then, telling him, okay, put a clause for that said percentage. And when they say Iwala has a good talent, definitely they will sell him and you will make more money. But they gave reference to some people who they put for that sales and didn't
And
make
did
it.
not
At the
sell.
end of the day, they lost the money when I was in Tunisia. I had a call to leave Tunisia, going to Egypt for a higher bidder. Before signing, I was told about going to Egypt. Don't sign anymore about going to Egypt, that they have higher offer. I said no, this is the height. I'm not going again. I'll sign you. It's okay. Not
So
going.
as far as they were concerned, their own is, we're just going to give him to the highest offer. That's all. Okay, let's fast forward. So now you've moved to Esperance, Tunis. Again, a lot of people were surprised, but you find yourself in that situation. Obviously you cannot be feeling bad for yourself. You cannot start hating somebody. You have to move on with your life. You have to focus on your own journey, your own career. You're still chasing a dream. You're still working a job. How did you adapt to that life? Moving to Tunisia, settling into that league. How was that for you?
Yeah, I have to move on, like you said, because I want to play football, and it's still football, And there was encouragement that don't worry, you can still go wherever you want to go from
Mm.
Africa. You still have time. So it was not really easy, but I had to settle a lot of things behind the scene. But I just have to, Sometimes it's good when you go to other countries. You need to have a bargaining power. It's an advice I would give to anybody who wants to travel, mostly to African countries. You need to have a strong bargaining power with the club or wherever you're going to. You need to have a strong representative. You know, those are the things I didn't really have. Because it was just my deal was somehow I don't know how to put it, but it was just there. So I lost some details, some vital details, and some vital sponsorship for me to have a bargaining power. So that was part of the things that affected me there in Esperance. So that is it. But I just had to play football. I had to push everything down and just focus on my career. That was it.
And I mean, now you are playing in Tunisia. In your second, was it your first? Okay, your first season you played in the CAF Champions League as well.
Yeah.
You know, so you played in CAF Champions League. How was that? You've played Champions League in Nigeria, but now you're playing Champions League for another African side. Did it feel the same? Did it feel different? How do these countries approach it? And before you answer, the reason why I'm asking you that question is because we see that Nigerian teams, we don't really do well in the continental competition. We qualify, then we come back home. We qualify again, we come back home. But these North African teams, they tend to have better success. So was there something different in the way they were approaching these games that you saw?
Initially, when I get there, I know there were a lot of
Mm,
difference. Like this is a team who knows that getting to the semi-final is not a bargaining power. It's normal.
mm,
Or fighting to win it, it's what they want. Or like us in Nigeria, getting to the qualification stage, it's something that we are fighting for, not even to win it.
mm,
So you see, that is the difference. For them, getting to this final self, it's like something normal for them.
mm,
They have to get it, and they know they will get there. But what they don't know is winning it, and that's what they are fighting for.
mm.
So that was a huge difference. Like talking about the CAF Champions League for them, it's like talking about the Champions League, Europa Champions League. It's
Yeah.
it's like they're everything. Like it is Champions League. They don't even need to tell you. When you see the preparation, you see supporters coming to the stadium giving support. It's a different ball game entirely.
Mm,
So the Champions League for them is totally different.
mm.
Totally different. Totally.
And I mean, I wish Nigerian clubs would learn and start to approach it differently as well. So that, because I mean, we've had success in the past, and we want to have that success again. But it's good that you gave us that explanation. Okay, so now you went on loan to CR Belouizdad, if I pronounced that correctly, in Algeria.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
that your decision? Was it the club that said you need to go on loan? Like, what happened there?
Yeah. So after the first season, when I went, before the end of the season, they changed the coach. Radi Jaidi, former player of Tunisia, left and they brought another coach.
Mm,
So when the coach came in, the settings was obvious that I was not part of his plan.
mm,
So we came back for the next season. So the settings was still there. So along the side, I started hearing, because me, no matter how much I am earning, I can never stay in a club where I'm not playing. I can never. I can never stay. If I'm not playing, I can't stay. So I started hearing side rumors, side talks that they want me to go on loan. The coach does not need me. I said okay, but they didn't come to me directly. So I heard, and I informed my agent. We spoke to the club directly, and they started telling us, okay, they have a coach who is interested in me. He's a Tunisian coach, but he works with Belouizdad as the head coach now. He wants me if I can go on loan, and he has spoken to the present coach of Esperance, and he has accepted that they can take me. I said, okay, fine. I checked about the club. I saw them. I said, okay, fine, no problem. I'll go. So that's how I went to Belouizdad.
And you got there, I mean, still in North Africa, but a different country. Was it similar lifestyle, similar culture, or did you have to adapt again to a whole new country?
The first thing, the most difficult thing is the language.
Mm,
So it's the same language. So I was not like new. In fact, I settled in Algeria very, very fast, more than Tunisia.
mm.
You understand? So although with the help of the coach and everything, I was okay. So coming from experience is like a top signing for them, you know. So I settled in so easily. So I didn't have much difficulties compared to experience.
And while you were in Africa, you won the Tunisian Cup, the league with Esperance in your first season. You won the Super Cup, and then while you were in Algeria, you won the league as well in Algeria with Belouizdad. So now you've left Nigeria, 2 seasons, you don't carry 3 trophies. How did you feel? Like, okay, this football team, not they too difficult to, how did that feel?
Yeah, it was nice, Although the first one in Tunisia was like one of the best for me because I think I scored the only goal for that final
Mm,
of that cup. So it was okay for me. It was the best. But the Tunisian league is like it's experience. It was the sixth in a row. So it was nothing new for them. They didn't even take a trophy. That's why I said,
really, they
yeah,
didn't even take a trophy.
for them it's the Champions League. If it's not
Mm,
the Champions League, every
they
other
don't
thing
care.
is aside, you know. So there was no celebration. It was like taking the trophy of Tunisia. It's like taking a ticket to play Champions League, not because of the trophy. Taking the Tunisian league is like for them to get a ticket to the Champions League to secure it, not to have okay, I die no. So that's why they are doing that. But the league sixth in a row. Of course, it's for us that came new. It's okay for us, but for them, it's nothing. You
Wow.
know. So that was it.
Different standard entirely. Different standard.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let's fast forward to you have your season in Algeria, and then you make a move to Al Arabi, which is where you're currently still playing your football. Al Arabi is in Kuwait. How did this move come about now? You already said that the coach in Esperance didn't really want you. So is that why you eventually made the move? Just tell us.
So when I came back, that coach left.
Oh, okay.
Another coach was there. So I was playing, not like I was not playing. But something happened. I think the club had me in mind because when I was in Belouizdad, we were fixed in the same group with Esperance, the group stage of the Champions League.
Mm,
So calls started coming in that I shouldn't play the game, and I said, "Why? Why would I play? You said I'm not. You deem me not fit enough to play in your club, and now it's time to play against you. Tell me don't play. The president is scared. The president is this, is that." I said the president was there when I left. So if he had wanted me, he would ask me to stay, not to let me go. Now okay, tomorrow, if I come to your club and I'm deemed to play against Enyimba, you imagine that also maybe Enyimba will call me and tell me don't play well in the game.
mm.
So how will you see me? How will you take me? So it's impossible. So they came to Algeria. It was fire to fire. In fact, the performance was top notch. After the game, they started saying a lot of things. The president is not happy with me. Why did I play the game? Why did I play so well? Now it's looking like I can play. Things
So
like
you were
that. They,
supposed to come and do nonsense.
like they even asked me to pretend like I have injury, so I
Wow.
won't play the game. Yeah, my agent told me it's never. They started calling my agent this that. I said, don't worry. This game, this one in particular, if not the last game of my life, I could play. So it was like that. So away, we're going to Tunisia. Same call started coming again. Don't play. Don't do this. Side talks. I played the both game, and the fans they were murmuring that day. Everybody was like, "Why did they let him go? Why did?" I started receiving message. You are coming back to us. You are doing this. You are doing that. So initially, my club, the club I was in for loan, Belouizdad, started negotiating with Esperance. Esperance refused. They said they are not selling me.
Mm.
So that's why I went back to Tunisia. So going back, because I had a problem with the coach then, because of position, and I told the club, this is my position, this is where I want to play. That's why I came here.
Which
Don't
position is
start
that?
that from the left,
Okay.
you know. So that's my position. That's where I want to play. I feel more comfortable there, and I think I can do better there. You know, although even the first coach that was there that was still playing me was playing me from the right. You know, so that was the issues I started having. So when I came back, same thing was going on, and I told them, look, this thing you are doing will cause more problem for the both of us.
Mm.
This is what I want. You understand? So I think they started talking here and there and there. So initially I told them, okay, if it's so, I want to leave. Can you take offers so I'll go? So they
Mm.
came back and they told me that they will be the one to tell me where to go to. So in
Wow.
case I don't get to meet them again, I'll tend to give them problems. I said it's not possible. You can't decide for me where
Where I
to
end up.
take my next career.
Mm.
They said no, if I don't want that, then I will stay in the club. I will not play, I will not be registered and everything. What will I do? So I had to accept the offer going to Kuwait so I can just get out of that place because it was really intense. It was, I just had to cut the story short, but it was intense and I had to leave that environment because it was not looking healthy anymore to
So
that one initially.
so what you are telling me is that even just like the way your move to Enyimba was dictated by the club, again the same thing happened. That when
Yeah,
you had to leave Tunisia, they are the ones that dictated to you where you're able to go and play.
yeah.
Ha, I'm I'm feeling bad for you, small small, because of all the things that have happened. Yeah. It's not nice, but I mean, let me ask you this: even going back to Tunisia to have all this conversation with them, were you scared? Because we've heard different stories about what happens to Nigerians, West Africans when they play in these North African countries. In fact, we've seen Rafael Ayagua. Only recently we saw what happened to him over there in Egypt. Were you scared that may these guys not just lock me up somewhere, may they not beat me or break my leg? Were you actually, or did you feel safe that time?
No, no, no. I didn't. I was never scared, bro. I was never scared because this is my career. If I don't take the bold step, I will. At the end of the day, fear will grip me, and I will might say I die no after.
Mm.
You know. So I just believe it's better for me to take the bold step now and be ready for whatever will come in. And when they see me, they see how I was approaching them. It was. I think that made them understood that okay, this person is really coming out seriously. And they started listening to me, but it was like a 50-50. But I had to do what I need to do for me to come out from that place, so that's it.
Such an interesting journey, man. You've been through a ride. Now you're in Kuwait. You joined them in August of 2023, I believe.
Yeah.
Playing your football. How is life there? Kuwait is a country that Nigerians, we hear of it, but we don't really. I've never been there. I've never thought of going there. It's not somewhere that we know too many players that have gone to play. So how is it for you over there living and playing football?
Yeah, I think I think I heard one time Mikel B was here. He played for a club called Katia here in Kuwait.
He
And
did. Towards the end of his career, he did.
yeah, and Shehu Abdullah also played for the same club, I think. No, Mikel played for the Kuwaiti club, and Shehu Abdullah played for Katia club also here in Kuwait. So those are the things I heard before coming. But when I came, I was surprised. It's an exposed country. Even my agent was when he was coming was saying, "Hi, it's Kuwait. Is Kuwait not a desert? What is happening there?" I say, when you come to Kuwait, you give a different story for yourself. So just come and see. When he came, you know, it's different. The only thing different from Dubai, it's like Dubai is a country that does they do tourism, they based on tourism and the rest. So Kuwait don't do that. So that's the difference. But technology, exposure, everything. But it's a small country. It's a very small country, but very exposed technology wise and everything.
Safe, everything.
Safe.
Oh, interesting. Maybe one day you can invite me. Come and
Sure,
visit you in Kuwait.
sure,
No, but interesting.
sure.
Okay, what of the football? What's the is it higher? Is it higher level than where you were before? Is it lower level?
No,
How is the football?
no. Kuwait does not have that high level when it comes to football.
Hmm.
Because most of their players play football. Some of them go to work. It happens in England also. Some players play football and go to work also. But yeah, it's like a lifestyle for them. And Kuwaiti players are not those players that want to take football like
It's
big,
not
big
their
professional.
dream like that.
Yeah, they just play football kind of for enjoyment, for fun, for purpose, for passion, just there. But the passion has a limit, like that of Europe and all that. So
Hmm.
that is it. That's the difference.
Is it what of compared to Nigeria? Is it higher or lower than Nigeria?
For
No,
facilities,
the football.
just the football.
Yeah, the quality of the football.
Nigeria has quality. Nigeria has quality more than a lot of African countries. You know, it's just our ways, our facilities, our sponsorship, our exposure, and all that's killing the league. Nigeria has quality. Nigeria players has quality. If it's for quality, of course we have it. Definitely.
And I mean, you've been killing it. I mean, now that you're explaining it to me, you better kill it because you're supposed to. I go expect say you go be above most of the people that are playing there. But in your own mind, this is your second season now in Kuwait.
Yeah.
Do you think you have reduced as a footballer? Do you think you have gotten better? How do you feel like in terms of your own progress?
Of course. Coming to Kuwait, it's not an improvement, but you can't take it away. But football has two sides. The quality and also what you are earning from it. So you can't lose the two.
Mm.
That's the basic truth. Talking about where we are coming from, Nigeria as a country, or what we are seeing in our country. So I thought about it, and it's not something. Okay, it's not the top. Kuwait is not the best of the top leagues. Yeah, compared to my career, it's like a step below, which is the fact. But on the other hand, I need to just get what I need to get. At least it's better than for me going back to Nigeria, you know, and the pay it's okay. So for me, that is what it is for now. For now, that's it.
When you say the pay is okay, give us. When you say okay, are we talking? what kind of money are we talking about here? Is it
Of course,
one
I
million?
can't I can't give
No,
a
no,
clue
no, no,
about that.
no, no, no. I know they ask you for your salary. I know they ask you for your salary. But what I'm saying is, let's say the highest paid player inside that Kuwait now. What kind of money can that player make? $1 million a year, 500,000 a
Yes,
year. What kind of money can
yes.
be the highest?
Those are the category.
Hmm.
Those are the category for professional because they have professionals and they have Kuwaiti players. It's
Oh,
different.
okay.
So every club is entitled to five professionals. So professionals in Kuwait are earning those amount of money.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I mean, now your only job is that one, but for the Kuwaiti ones, they maybe they have something else that they are doing.
Yeah, that's why it's like that. Yeah.
Okay. I understand. So don't bill him. Oh, he's not say he's making 1 million. Oh, so you people should not.
I don't talk.
No, I did not say you should bill him. Oh. Okay. Okay. So when you look at yourself, you look at your career. Do you still have that dream of playing in Europe? Someday. Playing for the Super Eagles again. Do you still have all those dreams?
For dream, of course, my dream has always been 100%, anytime, any day. Because if I look at my story down to today, the way it came, it's not even how I expected it.
Mm.
So now the kind of mindset I have, it's an open mindset for anything, because anything can happen at any time, and I'm ready for it. So whatever comes at me, that is it for me right now.
Maybe you can even come to MLS. I mean, some
Of course,
some
of course,
Nigerian players are in the MLS now, and the pay is good here too. I will tell you
of
that one.
course,
Even though
of
people
course.
always insult MLS, but you can come and you can
Bro,
make a,
gone are
a
those
good
days
living.
whereby they insult leagues, and you,
Mm.
because of that, you don't want to. Well, bro, there's life after football, bro, and people have to realize that.
Yeah, yeah. It's okay. Maybe one day, we'll see you in MLS, or maybe in Europe or even Saudi. But since you've been in Kuwait, has there been any kind of opportunity to leave? Has anything come up, since you've been there?
Of course. Even before the start of this season, I even
Mm,
had offers again going back to Algeria and
mm.
some other clubs, even from Europe. But my club, they don't even want to hear something like that at the moment. It's a big challenge I'm having right now. They don't
I
want to
remember
hear.
we chatted a little bit offline about it, and you were telling me that something might be happening. Okay.
Yeah, I was so close, but again, I won't lie, to be honest. Again, I had offer. They gave me another offer on the table again. So, okay, stay, and that is it. So I had to consider again and say, okay, fine. That was it.
So now, how long contracts do you have with them now?
2016,
2026, you mean?
2026. Sorry,
Okay. So we'll be watching. Maybe after 2026, maybe who knows? We'll see. We'll
by
see
the
what
grace.
will
Maybe
happen.
maybe before then, anything can still happen.
Anything can happen before then. But you
Yeah,
said they don't want to listen now. Why they say okay, maybe end of contract. But
yeah. They don't want listing based on everything in football.
mm,
Negotiations from the other side, and yeah, and negotiation from there and me.
mm,
You understand? So football can turn. Anything can
anything
happen
can,
as
yeah.
long as money is involved.
Mm,
Anything can happen.
mm. Okay. So now this season, I believe you guys, your season is split into two, if I'm not
Yes,
mistaken. Yeah. So
yes.
you've
The
you've
first
played the
round and the
first
second round.
you've played the first round now, Abi?
Yeah,
Yeah, and you guys are currently second on the table,
yeah.
behind Kuwait. Okay. So what are your I mean, and in I think so far this season, because I know when the season started, every game like I could just they see goal, Anayo, 2 goals, Anayo. Yeah, go. I say, is it only you that is inside this thing? So now what kind of targets, do you set for yourself now for the rest of this season?
Yeah, honestly, to be honest, this particular season was intentional.
Mm,
Intentional, because when I get offers, they ask me, how many goals did you score last season? Wow.
mm,
I'm not proud in saying the numbers.
mm,
I'm not proud in saying the numbers for the type of league I'm playing. So it was something I said to myself, it was intentional.
mm.
So I had to do it. And funny enough, I started doing it at a very, very important time of my career, you know. And again, I think that was part of the reason why they insist I'm not leaving, because it was a period whereby, yeah, it was a period whereby I was on the verge of leaving, by all means, by everything. Like I was doing everything to leave, and that thing came up, and so it's intentional because of the numbers, not because I had intentions of
Yeah.
this is where I want to go. Intentional because I last year, whenever somebody asked me, how many goals. I was not proud of the number, to be honest. So I said it's time for me to focus on the numbers of the goals. So at least when somebody asks me now, how many games, 8 games, how many goals, 6 goals, I can be proud of it, by saying it. But again, it added more things to me. So I'm grateful for that.
When you look at where you've played, between Nigeria and Algeria, Tunisia, what would you say is and even Kuwait, let's add Kuwait inside it. What would you say is the biggest difference, the biggest change in football when you go from country to country? What is that biggest change?
For me, I would say the structure of the league
Mm.
in every league, it's different. You have to adapt to how they play, you know, time, weather, teammates, club, structures, and those things, you understand? So those are things you look at, and those are things that makes the difference. You understand? Here in Algeria, you have quality players. You know, Tunisia also you have quality players. You understand? And the oppositions also have a big role to play. You understand? So those are the things that defined you know the environment and the place.
Okay. Let me now ask you, what's your dream club? I know you said you're an Arsenal fan, but if you can join any club today, what's your dream club?
Of course, it will be Arsenal,
Arsenal. Okay.
definitely.
Hmm. If there's one player that you just absolutely would love to play with, say any player in the world that one for just one match, you guys can just play together. Who is that player?
Currently,
Yes, currently.
Cristiano, of course.
Cristiano. Okay,
I
okay.
wish to share the pitch with Cristiano, definitely.
Where where
100.
will where will you play? Where will Cristiano play? Where will you play? Because
He
both
will
of
be in
you.
the middle, of course. I'll
Okay,
be in the
Cristiano will
left.
play nine.
So I go supply and go make his score.
Okay, okay. In your career so far, what's your favorite goal that you've ever scored?
Ah, it's a tough one. But I think I'll pick my first goal in Tunisia.
Your first goal in Tunisia.
Yes.
Who was it against?
Um, CX Fax,
Hmm.
CX Fax of Tunisia.
Can you describe the goal for us? How
It was a middle pass for my teammate, just one pass. I ran through with my left leg, flash,
one time shot?
one time shot.
Okay.
I think that was the cup game we won.
Um, who is the toughest defender that you've ever faced?
Ah,
Whether for NPFL or for Tunisia or for Algeria, or maybe even when we played against Mexico, anywhere.
the toughest defender I think I've faced is because I myself and Moses Simon was talking about the guy. The
Mm.
friendly game against Cameroon, the right back. There was one short guy like that. Wow, the guy.
Against Cameroon,
Yeah, the
the
friendly
one
game.
away.
Yeah, nah, yeah.
Let me see. Was he fine?
I don't know, but it's a short black guy. I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
really
I
know
think
his
I think it was. I'm looking. I
against
think it was.
Cameroon
Yeah,
in the
against
friendly.
Cameroon. I think it was Fire that played for them. Collins Fire.
Yes, I think
Yeah,
so. He
short
was
guy.
tough. He was tough, because Moses Simon started that game and then I came in and then I had little challenges beating him. And after the game, he said, Afa, that guy tough, Abi. I said, no, my tough. So
Okay, okay. Um, who is the teammate or the coach or the person that you say has had the biggest impact in your football career?
for my teammates, I think I'll say Victor Mboma, then we were
Mm,
in Enyimba.
top
He was
striker.
my close friend. Yeah, he was my close friend, very close friend. He had a lot of things. He taught me a lot of things. He made me realize a lot of things about
Mm.
life and how to do some certain things. So he imparted in me a lot, a lot. And for coach, I don't, I'm going to get a lot of people offended.
Why?
Okay. For me, I need to pick somebody for a reason, you know, because you don't just look about the negative aspect of people, you also look about the positive aspect of them, you know. So I want to say Fatal Shaw.
Hmm.
Reason because um at the time Fatal Shaw was the first coach that cut my half salary. He slashed my half salary, you know.
Why?
But because there was a time I was angry. I was not involved with training, friendly games. I just come to training, lie down, go back. So I was angry. So there was a day they played a game. I think towards the ending of the game, he called me, Anayo. I was reluctant, you know. So I started coming, and he already said if he calls you, you have to show remorse, whether diming. So I was reluctant, you know. But for me, I still think it's not enough for him. So we have a philosophy in Enyimba. Then once you do anything, immediately there's a man called Daddy C. Once you hear Daddy C, you know your money is going. So immediately I was on the process of being reluctant, coming out little. He got up. He stood up and Daddy C, Anayo, half salary. Immediately Daddy C will write it down and they will take it off.
Wow.
So, but outside that, Coach Fata is one coach that if you play against him, you need to be serious. So I think it had a lot of role to play for me. That's why I was so determined. So I think I just have to mention him at the moment.
So nobody saying he help you. Is that the bad thing when you do you motivate you?
Yeah, it just made me. I think everybody has to stay composed because then everybody was composed. Everybody had to be composed because of Fatah Osho. They know because not because we are scared of him, but if he cut your money, there's nothing
You're scared of the money.
you understand. So we don't want to make our money go now. So but you hear that you see, you know your
But
money is
you know,
going.
when you look forward now, you think it gave you some discipline, it gave you some responsibility, you know.
Yeah, yeah. And again, Fatah Osho's system was good when it comes to playing. It
In
was
terms
one
of
of the
football,
best.
everything was good.
Yeah, it was good when it comes to playing tactical. We're enjoying ourselves. We want to play because we had this what we like, what we want to do as players. Those it was okay.
When you are not playing football, what do you do for fun?
Nothing. I don't have anything. Just watch TV, listen to music. That's all.
You don't go out to party, you don't go out
No,
to you don't go to the beach, you don't what else? Maybe go for movies, you know, something now.
no. I've gone to the beach, but I can say once in a lifetime.
Wow.
I've gone to party, but I can count how many times I've gone. Yeah, but when I'm free, like this is what I want to do. No, most times I just stay at home. Even back then in Tunisia and all those places, my coach would send my teammate to come to my house to try and take me out because I'm always inside.
Hmm.
That's it.
Wow.
I know they keep telling me, you have to get married. You need to bring a girl to come and stay with you. You need a girl, bring somebody. I said no, I'm not.
I
I'm
was
not ready.
I was I was about to ask you that. Are you married? Because if you are married now, you feel say waiting I look for outside now. I get for house, waiting I find outside.
Yeah.
But you know, you're not you know get wife, so you just sit down first.
Yes, it was like that. It was like that for me.
Hmm, interesting. Okay. How do you manage the pressures of football? Because you know, whether or not you like it, football comes with noise from fans, from people like me in the media, from fellow players, from coaches, all sorts of things. As I'm talking to you now, let's be realistic. some people are going to watch this video now. They will still have something negative to say because
Of course,
human
of
being,
course,
you know.
of course.
So how do you deal with all the pressure and all the negativity in football?
You know what? It's something I've said to myself, like you said, no matter what, people must talk. You know, people must talk. So just do what it takes for you to do to make sure you get it right. And when you get it right, thank God. If you don't get it right, you push again, you try and, forge ahead. Me, I'm not the type that pay attention to what people are saying. I don't even want to ask to give myself that room to get to that position, you know. But there must be pressure no matter what. And you have to face it. So that is it.
Wow. Would you ever come back to the NPFL?
If Musa can come back to the NPFL, who am I? Although he has a lot of money, can't compare it to me anyway. So I need to make my own. Then maybe one day I can come back.
Okay, I like that answer. I like that answer. What's your message to young players that look up to you?
Stay focused. Be prayerful. You know, because I can't speak about my process of football and career without talking about being prayerful. And be hardworking. And again, it's not everybody that hardworking that will be successful. That's why you need to be prayerful, and just go for whatever you want. Go for whatever you want. That is it.
Amazing. Amazing. I want to
Okay.
ask, so when I spoke to my last guest, I asked him to give me a question to ask the next person. Yeah. So the question he gave me was, when you are not playing football, so maybe injury or something, how does it feel when you are not playing football?
Yeah, I can answer that very well because I think I've been in that position whereby I couldn't play football for 5 to 6 months. It's like something is going to end in your life. It's like you're losing every morning when you wake up. It's like your peace and happiness has been taken away from you. That's how it was for me then. Like I feel like something is missing from me. Playing football for 5 years consistently, doing something constantly, and then you stop doing it all of a sudden. When you wake up at a time, you tell football. Now footballers are complaining that the games are too much. Give them 1 month to just go and relax. They want to come back again. It's like that. Give them 1 month, 2 months, they want to come back again. For us, it's like that. So when you give us 1 month, 2 months to be able to, understand. But you are relaxed because you know you can still go back. You are okay, you are fine, you can go back at any time. Now, compared to the fact whereby you have injury and at the moment you can't do it, it's troublesome. It brings worries to your mind. So it's like something big has been taken away, you know. So that's how it is.
I really like that answer. Okay, and now I'm going to throw it to you. It's time for you to give me a question to ask the next guest.
Okay. My question would be, I think most footballers now will be thinking about that. If you are to stop football today, what will your life become? What is the phase? What is the next phase you are going to in life? That should be my question.
That's deep. That's deep. That question now, that person can be here for 30 minutes.
It's something every footballer should be thinking about, because it's something that runs through my mind every day. If you dare to stop football today, where is your next destination?
You know, and I mean, it's so true because as football is one of the best jobs that you can have in the world, but it's also a job that it can go like that,
And
you know?
it gets you carried away. You just faced one side, immediately you stop, you realize that there's something behind and after it. So not everybody realized that.
I like that question, good one, good one. So yes, we have come to the end of today's conversation. Fantastic. I've asked you exhausted all the questions. We've spoken for so long. I didn't even think we would come this long, but your story, I plenty for your
A lot.
for your journey,
You
man.
just hear some parts. There are a lot to my story, man. If I'm to say it, give the story bit by
Don't
we
worry.
might go a
Maybe
day.
later we'll do a documentary. So we'll do
Of course,
10
it will
10
be
10
nice.
10 episodes.
It will be very, very nice. Very, very nice.
No, we'll do 10 episodes, just talking about because and I know what you've been through. You're not the first, you're not
Of
going to be
course,
the last.
of course,
It's still
definitely.
happening, but I'm thank you for sharing, because getting to hear it, it gives you a better understanding. Even some people self we go down, they criticize you. Now they will understand better why you are in the place that you are in, and things like that. And they will support you more. And me, I've always been a supporter of yours, but now the ginger even did my back some more. Say, okay, I really want to see you do well. I want to see you keep on growing and keep on going forward. Honestly.
Thank you. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Thank you.
Before we go, so we're going to play one more game.
Okay.
This one is a short game. It's a blind ranking game.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know if this is how it works. I'm going to call players, Super Eagles forwards, attackers of all time. I'm going to name 5 of them. So you have to rank them from 1 to 5. The only
Okay.
thing is that when I give you a name, you don't know who is coming next. So, but you have to rank them from 1 to 5. Understand?
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. First player, Victor Osimhen.
2,
Okay. Nwankwo Kanu.
1,
Okay. Obafemi Martins.
4,
Okay. Yakubu Ayegbeni.
5.
Okay. Rashidi Yakini.
Ah,
There's only one
okay, I
spot
give it
left.
3.
Only 3. Okay. You know what I'll do? Now, you put Kanu 1, Osimhen 2, Yakini 3. You said Martins 4 and Yakubu 5.
Yes.
I give you a chance. You can switch any 2 that you like. Which one will you?
Okay. Rashidi, I'll put him 2
And you put
and take
Osimhen 3.
Osimhen 3. Yeah.
Okay. So Nwankwo Kanu 1, Rashidi Yakini 2, Osimhen 3, Martins 4,
4,
and Yak 5.
5.
Not bad. Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay. All right. That's the end. That's the end. Thank you very much, Anayo Iwuala, man. It's been nice talking to you. Fun
My pleasure.
conversation. Lovely to hear your story. I hope you enjoyed it as well.
Thank you. Thank you. I did. 100%.
Yeah. Okay. So for anybody that's is watching this video, maybe they know you, maybe they don't know you, maybe they are seeing you for the first time, they just love your story. Just send a message to them. What's your message to that person?
All right. To anybody who knows me, I love you if you love me. If you don't know me, you know me now. If you love me now, I love you too. If you don't love me, I love you also. And I'll tell you guys that as footballers, all we need is support. But although can't take away criticism from football, we have to accept it. But I want you guys to, in any way or the other, support footballers because there are a lot of things behind the scene that you guys don't know about, you know. And sure, we understand um, the pain of what you guys are going through because when you love somebody, the pain of that person gets to you also. That's why sometimes people make criticism and it's part of it. So we just want you guys to understand sometimes that things that happen are beyond our circumstances and what we can handle. I will just have to take the best possible decision at that moment. And so you guys understand that sometimes when we make decisions that does not suit you guys, it's not because it suits us 100%, but because it's the best, the best option we need to take at that particular time. So that is it.
Well said. Well said. Thank you very much. And for everyone that's been watching and listening to us, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope his story resonated with you. I hope you learned one or two things, and I hope that you continue to support Nigerian footballers. My name is AyoT, and this has been Anayo Iwuala on the home of Nigerian Football Podcast. Thank you very much, guys.